Hey, what's up, guys? It's me again, Micah, for Pistons News Reviews 22. Uh, Rocking my Jonas Jerebko horns today. Here to talk about not so much the Pistons today, but some other moves that have been made. Not so much the decision, I've already covered that. Um, but the rest of the moves. Start with teams that have made pretty big moves. You've got the Knicks acquiring Amari Stoudemire, Raymond Felton, all those guys from the Warriors, Anthony Randolph, Azubuike, Ronnie Turioff. Just some minor trades there. I mean, besides the fact that David Lee went to the Warriors in that trade, I think that was a great trade for the Warriors. I think he and Steph Curry will mix real well, be almost like a Suns team out there. Then you got the Kings, who I have already stated that they traded for Samuel Dalembert, drafted two centers, had another center already on their roster. Pretty overloaded. Another team overloaded with centers would be the Mavericks with Tyson Chandler, Brendan Haywood, that guy that they got, Ian Manimi from San Antonio. Just a lot of centers go into the Mavericks. And then, of course, besides Wade, Bosh, and LeBron, Miami got Mike Miller and Big Z, re-signed Udonis Haslem. Then you got the Bobcats, who traded Tyson Chandler for Dampier, but that seems like they're just going to release him, and that could be the end of that. And then you've got the other trades that have happened, the sign-in trades of Boozer, and then Jefferson getting traded to the Jazz. Honestly, I think Jefferson's a better player than Boozer. He averaged more points, more rebounds, more blocks than Boozer. I think Boozer will fit in way better in Chicago, being surrounded by more than just Darren Williams and injury-prone Andrei Kirilenko. And then you've got the Bulls, who've made a ton of moves. You know, they acquired Boozer, they acquired Kyle Korver, they acquired that other guy, can't think of his name, Ronnie Brewer, maybe? Anyways, they acquired some guys. They tried to acquire J.J. Redick. The Magic signed that offer sheet, though. That's pretty much been the big moves this offseason. My first subscriber, Denver Broncos Show, also known as the Denver Sports Show, give a shout out to you. Thanks for being my first subscriber. As we both know, you guys acquired Al Harrington, which I think will be a good pickup for you guys. Don't know what you guys should do as far as trades are concerned. You know, Carmelo wants to be traded now. As far as people that want to be traded, Chris Paul wants to be traded. So there's some moves. And today, July 20th, Matt Barnes is officially becoming a Toronto Raptor. Kind of go in and try to replace Hedo Turkoglu, and Amir Johnson, the former Pistons, is going to try and replace Chris Bosh. So that's been pretty much the offseason moves, besides all the re-signings that have happened. You know, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Ben Wallace, Will Bynum. Moves that I'd be interested to see happen. Obviously, I'm a Pistons fan. Be interested to see what happens there. We've heard rumors now about maybe Chris Paul to the Bobcats, seeing where that's leading, because, you know, they've been trying to package Emeka Okafor, which, you know, yesterday I came out and said I would love to see the Pistons get Samuel Dalembert for Rip Hamilton. Well, Emeka Okafor would be probably my second choice. Dampier, maybe with that mid-level exception, being my third choice. So I would love to see us pursue somebody like Emeka Okafor, somebody that's got an upside, got a career left in him. Great rebounder, great blocker. less on the scoring. That's exactly the kind of guy that we need here in Detroit. Well, not here in Detroit, but for the Pistons. We'll just see what happens with that. As far as other people in the league that have been talking about trades or seeing what might happen with trades, I would love to see some trades happen to maybe even out the East a little more. You know, you've got the Magic, you've got the Heat now, and honestly, I think the Celtics are on the decline. I was very surprised to see them in the finals last year, but I don't think that's going to happen again. I just don't think that the Celtics have enough manpower to get through another 82-game season and then win at least another, 12 games after that, probably losing a couple, so probably another 15 games on top of that 82-game season. 97 games, I just don't know how Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, and without Kendrick Perkins probably almost all year this year because of that injury in the NBA Finals, it's not looking good for the Celtics. Other teams to be concerned about. I think the Cavaliers might get a low playoff spot even without LeBron. I know people are saying the Cavs aren't going to be any good without LeBron, but they won the most games in the NBA last season. Yes, you can contribute some of that to LeBron, but there were other players on that team that contributed just as much. And J.J. Hickson, I think, is really going to come out of his shell this year. We'll see how Danny Green does actually playing for the Cavs instead of sitting on the bench behind Jamario Moon and LeBron. See what he can bring to the Cavaliers table. I think that they are good enough to maybe squeak in one of those last couple playoff spots. The Bucks, another team with a lot of possibilities because of the fact that Andrew Bogut's going to be healthy next year. If Michael Redd can stay healthy, that's a team that could be maybe the third seed in the East. The Pistons have the toughest division, even without LeBron. As a New Mexican, I watched Danny Granger when he was in college. I've met the guy. I went to one of his basketball camps. I know how good of a player Danny Granger is. He scares me. Roy Hibbert's coming into his own. They're still trying to look for somebody, trying to trade Brandon Rush, I've heard, and I don't know why. I think Brandon Rush is a great compliment to what Danny Granger brings. I know the whole reason they've been talking about that is because they're trying to bring in a point guard because they kind of shooed TJ Ford out the door, which I don't know why you would do something like that. The guy can't score much, but he's a perfect facilitator. So we'll see what they do in that category. Those two guys from the summer league that they had some great games out there for them. What were their names? Magnum Roll and Paul George. I think those were some great acquisitions for the Pacers. Anyways, then you've got the Kings, who are coming along in the West, but as far as the rest of the East is concerned, that whole division, the Pacers, the Bulls are going to be probably a 3 or 4 seed, depending on how the Bucks do, how healthy Michael Redd stays. I think they could be a big threat, the Bucks and the Bulls. The Pistons, hoping we can squeak in maybe a 5 or a 6 seed. I really think that we're going to be underestimated a lot this year. I think it'll take till maybe January for people to realize, hey, this Pistons team wasn't very good last year because half their team was out with injuries. We had more guys that were out for a certain number of games than we had in a season. If you put all their games together, not counting them as the same game, there were more than 82 games missed total. I think it was like 129, I believe, missed by Pistons players, and we're talking Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, Charlie Villanueva, Ben Gordon, Will Bynum, Rodney Stuckey. I don't know. I think Ben Wallace might have been the only guy that wasn't injured. Go figure. But I think that's really going to be a big step forward for us this year, not having those injuries. So we'll see how the Central Division goes, and we'll see how the rest of the East goes. I still think Miami isn't going to be as good as Orlando. I think Vince Carter is going to come out of his shell a little bit this year and show people that he's better than he really is. So this video is going a little long, so I'm probably going to make a part 2. So stay in tune for that one.